Hi, my name is Jacqi, and I've been with the Diva&Dudes program as an instructor for over 7 years. And today I'll be presenting a class called Boundless. Boundless usually is a series of movements that are done on the floor. Today we'll be doing them in the chair. So I invite you to get a sturdy chair without arms so that your feet can be firmly on the floor. And if you need a little cushion, just a very thin cushion or a folded up blanket will do nicely. Boundless is intended to help us just reconnect with everyday movement and increase our sensory awareness of those movements and thereby improving function. And so today we'll be exploring various positions or approaches to sitting upright in a chair and explore how to make that as comfortable as possible. So I invite you to sit forward in the edge of your chair, and for now just sit how you normally sit. Throughout the course I will be suggesting certain actions and movements, and so the main thing I want to be sure is that you never move into pain, and if anything that I suggest begins to edge you into pain, then just back away from it and try to do it more gently or some sort of a modification of my suggestion. The other thing is that I'll be asking you to do this with your eyes closed, even though I'm up in front of you. With the eyes closed, you can go deeper into sensing. I will be guiding you with my voice. And if at any time you're not sure of what I'm asking you to do, then take a peek, but then go ahead and close your eyes again. So this moment, please, again, sit comfortably and close your eyes. And we'll tune in first just to feel the body as it is now, as you have come from whatever aspect of your day. And we're now sitting in the chair, and what sensations do you have of you in a body in a chair? And you have your feet on the floor, we have our bottom in the chair, and somehow we have an experience of our spine and our torso being upright, and our neck and head also being in a particular position. Allow your arms to rest comfortably beside you, and you can, for the moment, have your hands on your legs somewhere. And just tune into your breathing without expectation that it has to be a certain kind of breath. Allow it always throughout the class to be easy and comfortable. There may be moments that I will invite you to take a deep breath in here or follow the movement with an exhale. But unless I give that direction, just let your breath be natural. So today we want to see how much effort are we either aware of when we sit upright or not sure of. And how much effort do we utilize in strain in the spine somewhere or the neck. So the first thing I want to check is tune into our feet. And just notice, are you aware of your feet? Are they in shoes or in socks? Can you feel the surface that they are touching? If they are in shoes, are you able to sense that the foot is inside a shoe and the shoe is on the floor? And how much awareness do we have of the feet stabilizing us and supporting our posture in the chair? And we may not be quite sure of that, so we're going to do a little something to get a little more feedback with that. So I'd like you, with still keeping your eyes gently closed, we're going to tip forward and rest our elbows on top of the knees, or you can have your palms pressing on the knees and propping yourself up on your arms. But as you tip forward and you're either propping on your hands and arms or your elbows, can you feel the weight has shifted down into the feet? And that without our feet, we would fall forward. Yeah, the feet connected to our lower legs that then allow us to prop ourselves up on the thighs. So now slowly begin to come back up and just try to maintain awareness that we have those feet down there. Now we're going to check again in an upright position on the role that the feet play in keeping us comfortably upright in this position. So I'd like you to imagine under your right foot that you have just a little piece of paper, and I want that piece of paper. So I'm going to have you just slightly lift the foot off the floor enough for me to pull that paper out, and then settle it back down. So you're going to do that with the same foot, and as you begin to lighten the foot away from the floor, just slightly, how does the rest of your body begin to accommodate that shift? Where do you feel the change in your spine, in your pelvis, and in your opposite foot? And slowly begin to settle that foot again back down until you can completely let go. And how does the rest of the body respond to that? So then we're going to do it under the left foot. And again, very slightly, almost like not lifting it, just enough so that I could pull that paper out, and only that amount. And as you gently ease the foot away from the floor, we of course notice the weight of the leg. But again, how does the pelvis shift, your spine, your shoulder? How does your weight adjust? And then slowly settle that foot back gradually until you feel the body equalize in both feet. And just begin again. Notice when you initiate the movement, what starts to adapt first. And then as you continue to lift it slightly, what's the second stage and the third and the fourth of your body accommodating for this extra weight that it's lifting now? And how does it slowly and incrementally settle back? And just allow for a comfortable and easy breath. So that is a very easy way to show the extra effort our body has to go through when when we don't have both feet on the floor. So see if you can notice now the contact of your feet with the floor that connects to your lower legs, and then somehow adds that support of being upright in the chair. We'll come back to this in a few moments, but now we're going to move to the pelvis. And first off, I would like us to explore what is the most common understanding that we have in our culture of what proper posture is, like when your parents told you not to slouch. So slowly engage your body in a way of what you think that posture, or what we've been told that posture is. Yeah? And feel the tension starting to engage. And we feel usually the spine gets really tight and rigid. The belly draws in. We pull the shoulders back so we feel the space narrow between our shoulder blades. And you feel the lower back arch. And we may even feel a pulling in the front of our shoulders. Yeah? So slowly let that ease back into a more comfortable position, not worrying about quote unquote proper posture. And do that again. Just like, oh, mom told me not to slouch. What engages, what pulls, what lifts, and how much effort is in that? If I were to ask you to hold this position for a long period of time, what discomfort would arise? And slowly release that. And allow for an easy breath. Okay. So now we're going to just begin by lowering our head towards our chest. And then raising it back to neutral. And lowering again, gently forward, and feel the change that happens of it closing in the front and this lengthening in the back. Try not to force your chin towards your chest. And then slowly lift. So the rest of the body is stable while my head comes to neutral and lowers. Once it's come to neutral, gently look up with just your head. Yeah. And we feel the back of the neck close down and arch, and the front of the neck open. And bring that back to neutral. And then one more time, lifting the head upwards, looking up, and feel the change in your neck. And bring that back to neutral. Now, imagine for a moment that you're in a crowded space and you are looking for a friend who's like way on the other side of the auditorium. And, you've got to kind of make yourself tall to see them. Yeah. So make that action and notice how much effort in the looking, do you feel of strain in your neck or in your spine or in your shoulders? What changes in your pelvis and your feet? And let that go. And then do that one more time. We're looking way out into the distance, straining upward to look to see our friend. How much effort is straining in your scalp, your neck, your throat, your lower back, and so on. And slowly release that. And take a nice deep breath. So that action, we're just exploring, and then we'll be seeing if there's another way or another option of doing that may be more comfortable or different. Yeah? So now we're going to move back down towards our pelvis and feel your bones resting against the chair. Yeah, we have 2 round bones that are referred to our sit bones, and they're round. So that means our pelvis can rock on the chair. So first, just keeping your spine long and erect, rock forward gently a little bit and rock a little back. Of course, this engages our spine, it engages our core a little bit, but feel the pelvis rolling back and forward. The whole spine is erect. Notice as you do this, what role do your feet play? How do they stabilize your upper body so that it can rock like this? Yeah. So come back upright and let that ease a little bit and allow for a deep breath. Then, instead of allowing for the back to stay erect, we're going to let it disengage. Yeah? So now begin to roll your pelvis towards the back of your chair and let your spine release and roll back. So we're not trying to push the spine back, but follow the ease of release as the pelvis rolls back. And then follow the gentle curve in those bones that are against the chair and rock them slowly back forward. All of our movements, we're looking to see how to make them smooth, gently roll back, and smooth and gently release your spine. And that each time you go through this action, can you find a way to make it with less and less effort? Look to see when we're adding effort to this movement and what changes can you make that allow it to be a little easier. And as we tune in to our feet again, do we notice that they are playing a role to help stabilize us? And if we're not sure, then we'll do a comparison test. So comfortably come upright. And for a moment, just tune in to your body, and we've moved the neck, we've moved the pelvis, which has made a change in our spine. We've connected to our feet. So do we have any new sensations? How we're sitting, does it feel different than when we began? So now, just like we have that little piece of paper underneath your right foot, slightly lift it off. We start to feel the body weight adjust. And now begin rolling back and releasing your spine. And when you've gone as far as is comfortable, you'll roll back up. And notice that this is a little different with only one foot stabilizing, right? Let that foot settle. Then allow the same idea with the left foot, your other foot, and gently roll back with as much ease. But now we notice, there is more effort because I'm only stable with one foot. Once we've come back up, let that foot settle. Notice your bottom in the chair, your feet on the floor, and just the difference, any changes, maybe yes, maybe no, along your back and neck. And allow for an easy breath. So now we're going to combine the movement of the head lowering down and raising to neutral, and the pelvis rolling back and rolling forward, upright and neutral. So leading with the pelvis, beginning to feel that rocking, rolling back. Explore if you can coordinate and harmonize the head lowering at the same pace. And don't struggle, just first notice what likes to lead, even though we're attempting to make this a coordinated effort. Do you have a space, a tiny space where you feel as if the head wants to lead and lift first and the pelvis follow? Or do you feel that the pelvis initiates first and then the head starts to catch up? So come upright and pause for a moment. And if you noticed if the head tried to lead and come up first, then give more attention to rolling and initiating the movement with the pelvis. And if you found that the pelvis was leading the action first, then change and lead a little bit first with the head, just for comparison. So continue to do that, gently rolling back, and just do the opposite of what your first inclination or your body wanted to do first. And just notice if one likes to lead more than the other. And what difference do you notice when you've changed it? And then keep gently rolling back and forward. And now really slow it down and smooth it out to see if you can truly synchronize the head and the rolling of the pelvis together. And as you're doing that, how do you notice the feet supporting you in smoothing it out, slowing it down, to give you time to coordinate this movement? Then come comfortably upright. Allow for a gentle, easy breath. And if at any time the spine starts to feel any fatigue, you can take a break. Since this is a video, you can always come back to it, but we're going to do that again. And this time we're going to look at the breath. So take a deep breath. And now, as you begin to coordinate rolling back with the head and the pelvis, exhale. And when you're ready to breathe in, reverse that. So we roll forward and the head coordinates coming upright. And exhale as you roll back and release the spine. Doing this at your own pace. And then pause. Take a moment to notice what is your sensation of the feet on the floor, your bottom in the chair, and the general feeling along your back and your spine and your neck. So we've just focused on the rounding back and not so much the other direction of now an arching forward. So we're going to do this very carefully and gently. And first, just with your head, as we started out with, gently look up. Try not to hurt the back of your neck, making it close down too much in the back, and bring it back to neutral. How does your chest and your spine respond when you look up? Does it move, or is it just the head? Notice if your body tried to move with you and lift with you when you lifted the head, then the next time you do that, try to keep the body still and just lift the head by itself. And notice the difference with that. And then pause and allow for an easy breath. So next we will initiate the movement with the pelvis. So roll your pelvis, feel that rolling on those round bones forward. And notice the change that happens, causing the back to arch, the belly to open, and keep the head still. And gently come back to neutral. Roll forward again, slow and gently. Follow the change that happens up the spine, the chest, and come back to neutral. Now coordinate head and pelvis. So as the pelvis rolls forward, the head looks up and come back to neutral. Do this gently, smoothly a few times. And when it feels comfortable, allow for the inhale as you roll forward and look up. And a comfortable exhale when you come back to neutral. So now, as you are rolling back and forth through this change, again, see if you notice which part of your body likes to lead. Does the head strain a little more and lead looking up, and the pelvis follow? Or do you find that as you roll forward, it's sort of a gradual progression up through your neck and head? Pause for a moment and a nice easy breath. So we're going to combine those now. Yeah? So first, gently take an easy breath. And beginning to roll the pelvis back, coordinate the movement with the pelvis and the head as you exhale. Make this feel very comfortable and gentle and easy. And then rolling forward, coordinate the movement of head smoothly along. As you tip forward, the back arches and the head moves up. So at your own pace, gently roll back and forth between these two. And if at any time the spine is getting tired, you can either rest or just do a very tiny, tiny movement of this rolling back and forth. And as you're rolling gently back and forth, if it's comfortable to coordinate with your breath, also notice again, how are your feet helping to stabilize you in this movement? And how smoothly can you feel your bottom rolling incrementally along the chair? And how does your spine change incrementally as you coordinate this with your head? Now, slowly come back to neutral and allow for an easy breath. And take notice, has anything changed from when we first sat in the chair? Do you have new sensations, different sensations in neck, your back, pelvis, and the feet? Now let your arms hang beside your body. And we're going to do a gentle roll back and forth and see if you can do like a feeling of just carrying your shoulders along, that they're not going to try to arch back or push forward, but they just come along for the ride. So allow for a nice inhale. And gently coordinating pelvis and head, exhale as you roll back and just let the shoulders be heavy, arms heavy, and then initiate rolling through the pelvis, coordinating the head, and let the shoulders just come along for the ride. Notice that they do not have to help you in this moment. In another session, we can explore some action of the arm and shoulders along with this, but today it's just the movement of pelvis, coordination of the head. Shoulders just coming along for the ride. Noticing the roll of the feet in, helping to stabilize and help you refine this movement. Now, wherever you're at, come back to a neutral position. And now gently turn your head to the left, smoothly to the right. And how does the neck feel? Does it feel supported? Different? Or maybe not sure? Or even maybe no change? But the investigation is what is important. Slowly bring your head back to center and allow for an easy breath. Now we're going to try one more test of like when we first started. So if we want to pretend that we've got a friend way off in the distance, see if you can choose. We have two options. Gently explore by rolling your pelvis forward and allowing the spine to help you lift and look. Is the same amount of strain in the neck of when we started? And roll back. And now try that again, leading with the head. And notice again the change in the neck, chest, and release. And then one more time, just explore gently, looking for your friend in the distance. Initiate that with the pelvis. And see if you can feel the rising, the extending, but the support through the neck and head. Then come back to neutral. Go ahead and rest into the back of your chair. An easy breath. So I invite you now, if you don't have anything else to do following this session, just rest and let your back rest into the chair and take notice of what feels new and what feels a little different. Certainly we'll have felt the back. We did a bit of movement today. So I encourage you just to allow it to rest and relax. And then when you are ready to get up, I encourage you just to get up slowly and maybe stand for a moment without a lot of movement to see if even your connection to the feet and the support of the pelvis changes any sensation of how your back is being supported and how your neck is then being supported by that whole structure. And thank you so much for being here with me today. And I hope we get to do this again soon. Thank you so much.